Nice to know you. Hey, hey friends, how y'all doing? Hey friends, please let me know if you can hear me. Ooh, it's been such a long time since we've done a live. I'm so excited. Hope you guys are good. I'm seeing in the hey Iana, that is a beautiful name. Y'all let me know where you guys are watching from. I feel like the lighting right now in this situation is not working for me. I was gonna set up my camera, but it just seemed like too much work. Hi, Krista. Hey. I'm gonna switch around my little setting real quick. Let's see. How are we gonna do this? If you saw any mess in the background, please ignore. Is this any better? Not really, but we'll go with it. Hey, Jay from Toronto. Hi, Black Judy Jetson. We've got Lady Dream in the building. Ooh, Christine from Brampton. Ow. Team May from England. Hey, Brittany. Hey, the K Danielle. Ooh, Houston, Texas. Ow, ow. I was just there. I love Texas. South Africa in the building. Another from Texas, from Ottawa, from Vancouver, Mexico in the house. Ow. Illinois, Miami. Hey, Queen Ty. Alrighty, I'm excited. Please excuse the lighting and this webcam quality. Oh, imagine paying almost $3,000 for a computer and this is what the webcam quality is. Steve Jobs, what's going on? I'm expecting a little bit more because the webcam quality isn't giving what it's supposed to give. Okay. These MacBooks are pricey, but for what? But anyways, I'm super excited for today's live. It's been a while since I posted a video and also been a while since I did a live. And so I'm excited for today's call because I had a conversation earlier this week about sabotaging your success and not even realizing it. And I figured this would be the perfect forum for us to discuss it and for me to share with you guys what I've been learning. And maybe you could take something from it. It could be insightful for you and helpful for you along your journey of becoming whoever it is that you want to become or whoever you want to be, who you already are, but is probably not showing up. Yes, Brittany, catch up on the Good Girls Gone Boss stuff. Yes. I've been so busy with college finals, but we'll be catching up with Good Girls Gone Boss soon. I feel you, girl. Those grades matter, so do what you got to do. Deandra in South Korea. Ow. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to be reading and talking at the same time, so excuse the pauses in between. But let me see. Why did this just freeze on me? Oh, okay, we're back. Hello. Alrighty, so basically, I'm just going to jump right into it. I had a conversation earlier, as I said, because I recently started therapy. Guys, I am such a huge advocate for therapy. I've always known how important it is, but I've never actually done it just like because I want to. Has anyone else done therapy? Let me know in the chats. And if you're watching this not live, let me know in the comments. But yes, I've done therapy before as an adult, but it was like through work because something pretty traumatic happened at work with one of our coworkers. So the company I was working for just had a therapist come in and like speak to all of us. And so I always knew that it was beneficial to speak to an unbiased opinion, an unbiased person outside of your friend group or your family to kind of help you unpack your emotions and process your emotions better, process situations a lot better. And y'all, when I tell you, therapy has been a game changer. I highly recommend it, highly, highly recommend it to anyone and everyone. You don't have to be going through something traumatic, which is another like kind of misconception that people have about therapy, or I would say it's the most major one. People feel like, "Oh, you only go to therapy if you are struggling mentally." And that's not the case, because you don't go to the gym only if you're struggling physically, right? You don't go to the doctor only if you're sick. Especially if you're in Canada and healthcare is free, you go for your checkups, right? You just go for your semi or bi-monthly checkups or semi-annually checkups, whatever you decide to do. So I'm like, oh, this has been what I I've been needing, when you're so used to talking to your friend group or your significant other or your family, talking to an unbiased person is game changer. And they really help to guide you through doing the inner work, doing the self work. That's so important that a lot of us and avoiding, you like notice the signs of you doing toxic things. Like sometimes you're the toxic trait to your own success, and you kind of just sweep it under the rug, and people mask it with, well, that's just how I am, that's just how I was raised, that's just my personality, that just is what it is. But you can't stay stuck on that's just who I am, especially if you're trying to be another version of yourself. Sometimes that's how you are, and that's good. But if it's not conducive to who you're trying to be and it's not helping you along that path, then you gotta switch it up. So saying that's just who I am because you're a friendly person is fine if you like being a friendly person. But if you are trying to maybe start a business and you're also working a 9 to 5, you can't just say, well, I'm just not the type to, work all the time. That's just not how I am. Like, no, that's just not me. Well, it's not helping you out because you're just doing your 9 to 5 and you're putting that business or that side hustle off to the side and you're neglecting it. So when your traits of that's just who I am are getting in the way of who you're trying to be, it's time to address those things and, check those things. So, let me just read through this really quick. I apologize because these comments are going crazy. I love you guys for like engaging with me. I feel like I'm talking to you all. Um, I've been so busy publishing my own music and learning how to thrive independently, but I'm doing it and you help the journey, sis. Yes, I'm so happy to hear that, Mona Lisa. Um, Yes, I've been struggling recently because I'm an artist and just trying to guide myself into success, but I feel like there is always something blocking me. Ooh, we got two artists in the building, Mona Lisa and Iana. Okay. Um, my therapy appointment is in September. I definitely needed it since I lost my dad to COVID. I'm so sorry for your loss and my condolences as well. But yes, hopefully that therapy session in September is helpful. That's like in just a few days. Oh my God, my birthday is in 10 days, y'all. My birthday is on August 28th. And I was supposed to be having this huge birthday, but I got to be true to myself. And I don't think I want to do it. So I don't think I'm going to. But that's a conversation for another time, honey. Um, been with my psychologist over 5 years. I believe in therapy to help reach your authentic self and work on you. Yes. You let go daily when you have a therapist. I promise you. Okay, so basically, I was just talking to my therapist about like some of my behaviors that I tend to fall into. And she had asked me, like, is what you're doing helping you or hurting you? And I was like, neither. She's like, okay. So let's talk about why you decide to do certain things when you're not feeling up, like when you're not feeling in the mood to do what you're trying to do. Long story short, do you know this lady told me I might be sabotaging my own success? And I said, I'm doing what? I'm doing like, what are you talking about? But yes, basically, like I felt that what she was talking about, so many people can resonate with, especially myself. Obviously, she was talking to me, but she resonated with it as well. So, my therapist, she's a lot older, and that was my choice. I decided to get a therapist who's a lot older than me because preference wise, it's like talking to my auntie, my mom, my grandma, whoever. She's just older, maternal figure, but not really, right? Because she's my therapist, not my mom. I have a mom and she's absolutely amazing. But my mom's opinion is a little biased at the same time, right? Which is another reason why I love therapy, because we all have that friend or that family member. You could literally kill somebody and they'll be like, okay, but they asked for it. So like, I'll be like, oh, I ran over someone with my car because they rolled their eyes at me. And they'd be like, but why did they roll their eyes at you? They had it coming. They shouldn't have rolled their eyes at you. So yeah, having someone who calls you out on your, I don't want to say toxic behavior, but not so great behavior is a godsend. So, anyways, I was just like, how am I sabotaging my success? She said she's absolutely been there before because she also used to be an entrepreneur as well. And here's what I gathered, because she gave me some homework and I was like, love this. Love this. Um, Wait, the conversation wasn't this week. I keep saying this week. It was a couple weeks ago. But regardless, that doesn't change the information that I'm sharing here. Okay. So,
Sharing here. Okay.
oh, I didn't know this was open. I have like two screens open of my live. So it just popped up. So I thought, okay, let's have this open discussion conversation because I've been learning a whole bunch of stuff. And since I've changed certain patterns, I see changes as well. So maybe you could take this um, and apply it to your life. Okay, so some reasons why or how entrepreneurs can sabotage their own success. Um, I'm going to give you 5 reasons that I like drew up. So one of them is because it's unfamiliar territories and it's scary. So you sabotage to go back into your comfort zone. Now, I don't think that this is only an entrepreneur thing. I think it can definitely apply to whatever you are career wise or whatever you're trying to accomplish. And basically, what happens with this when it's unfamiliar territory is you look around, you look to your left, to your right, and these are not people that look familiar to you. They're not people that you grew up with. They're not people that you've spent much time in your life with. This could be literally or figuratively. Maybe everyone around doesn't look like the people that you grew up with. Or maybe they do look like the people you grew up with, but they're just not the people that you grew up with. So it can kind of feel like you're all alone and no one else really understands what you're going through. So then you start sabotaging so that you can go back to your comfort zone where the people that are familiar to you are congregating. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chats if it makes sense. But the comments take a little while to generate, so I'll just keep talking until I see something pop up there. Because, okay, currently what I'm going through, definitely feel this one right now. Yes, yes. Okay, everyone's saying yes, perfect. So I'm gonna give you like a little example, right? I'm just gonna use Amanda. Shout out to any Amanda out there. That's just a name that starts with an A that came to mind. But okay, so Amanda has this group of friends. Every time she hangs out with them, all they do is like complain about their jobs, complain about their men or not having men, complain about the dating scene, complain about money. And it's kind of just good to hang out with her friends and just complain about life. And then one day, she starts watching some Allure videos. Okay. Starts reading some self-development books and recognizes that, you know what, sitting around all the time and just like complaining about life isn't helpful, especially when there's no action plan behind it. So she decides, I'm going to stop hanging out with this group of friends a little bit. Let me work on myself. Let me work on the stuff I need to work on, look within to discover what I can do to change my circumstances. So then after, a few months, she links up with that same group of friends that she always used to link up with. And because she's different, her friends aren't really understanding her. They're kind of giving her the side eye. You're kind of weird. What are you talking about? They kind of are distancing themselves from her. So instead of her saying, you know what, I'm going to continue on to this journey because I've made such great progress. She says, well, damn, if I continue, I'm going to be leaving my friends behind. My friends are no longer going to be able to relate to me. I'm not going to be able to relate to them. And this is a territory that I'm familiar with and I understand. So instead, she stops doing the self work. She stops doing the she gets back into her maybe toxic relationship because she's able to resonate with her friends better because they're all in toxic relationships, so they can all complain about their men together. And she stops looking for a better job. She just stays at the job that doesn't fulfill her and doesn't really make that much money, just so that she can relate and stay with the crew that she already knows. Not because it's a better situation for her, but because it's a comfortable situation for her. Now, does this hypothetical situation resonate with anybody where you stop working on yourself and the things that you need to do to make yourself a better person because where you used to be feels a little bit more comfortable? Let me know in the chats, baby. Let me know. Okay, so that was reason number one, right? Basically, you sabotage your own success because it's unfamiliar territories and it's scary. So you sabotage it to get back into your comfort zone. Another reason could be that you feel as though you don't deserve it. Oh, we're getting a lot of yes, I relate. Yes, this one. Yes, yes, yes. I feel you. I feel you. Ooh, 100%. Yes. Okay, so another one is that you feel that you don't deserve the success that you have earned. And unfortunately, this is very common for people who have gained a level of success. They kind of feel bad that they have actually got the success that they were looking for because um, they're used to struggle, and maybe they thought that the struggle would be a lot longer or it would last longer or it would be harder. So when they do get success without struggling to the ends of the earth for that success, they feel bad and they feel like they didn't deserve it. They don't deserve it, that they didn't work hard for enough for it. But just because you feel like that doesn't mean that is true, right? Our feelings sometimes lie to us. And it also goes back to a self love and self worth. You feeling like you're not worthy of something that clearly has been brought to you, clearly has you've either earned or God has blessed you with, has come your way for a reason, has been dropped on your doorstep for a reason, or you've literally worked really hard and prepared for it for a reason. So that just comes back to self-worth and self-love. That's something you've got to look within for and recognize, you know what, I am worthy of the success. I've worked really hard for it and I deserve it and I'm going to enjoy it. And we need to also, I think, as a society, and as a generation, normalize not struggling. It's not everyday struggle, 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 struggle. I'm so sorry, especially if you grew up with parents that struggled so much and worked so hard for what they have, it becomes so normal. And I posted this on Instagram today where um, the background vocals, the narration on the reel that I posted on Instagram was, perhaps becoming the best version of yourself isn't about becoming anything but unlearning all the things that we were told we were supposed to be. And I was like, woo, woo. If this ain't it, we need to unlearn so much of what we have watched or seen growing up. Like, there's a show that I watch, ooh, guilty pleasure. Real Housewives of Potomac. Let me know if you guys watch Real Housewives franchise, honey. I'll be watching the Potomac one and the ATL one. Guilty pleasure. But I remember the first scene that there's a character on there, Candace, and her mom. I guess her mom and her dad were very well off financially. And the first season that she was introduced, all the girls were dogging her because her mother bought the home that she lived in. And I was like, well, damn, why is this okay for people to ridicule someone for their mom being financially well off. Because isn't that what we're all working for, anyways? I find it so interesting. Like everyone's working for generational wealth, but when they see that generational wealth in practice or being used, they ridicule people for it. Like, yes, my mom is well off, and so I didn't have to struggle as much. That is something to be thankful for. I'm blessed for that. And moving forward, I'm going to make sure that my kids are set up so that they don't have to struggle as much. Like that should be what we are striving for us to be great and pass it down. But we need to unlearn ridiculing people for their parents being well off when that's what we're trying to work for our future generations as well. Like, how is that something to laugh at someone for? Your parents got money. Your parents got money, you loser. Like, what? Because I'm trying to be someone's rich mom one day too. My kid's not gonna be a loser because her mommy's rich. What? You know what I mean? So we gotta unlearn that. I have some I'm guilty. Yes, yes. A lot of unlearning facts, period. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So unlearning the struggle, because you deserve it. If you've worked for it, you deserve it. And it doesn't take years of struggling to understand that. That's been something that I've been, you know, keeping in the back of my brain. Like, not everything good has to be a struggle. Um, so the third way that we kind of sabotage our own success is by having lack of lack of motivation. Um, and for this, we just have to recognize what it is that's demotivating you. Like, not necessarily finding the things that motivate you to do work, but finding the things that demotivate you to not work. Does that make sense? Or is my English off there? Is my grammar off? So instead of looking for the things that will motivate you to work, i.e., the money, building a brand that you're proud of, your kids, instead of trying to identify those, identify the things that are demotivating you. For example, like I spoke about before, me not working or me not working on elevating myself keeps me within a certain grade or bracket that's more relatable. If I don't continue to excel, I'm more relatable. More people will like me. I won't outgrow my current situation. Um, I was reading a blog that was talking about, like, they used a woman as an example, saying if she started working on herself, then maybe she'd want to divorce her husband because she'd become this new version of herself that she feels deserves more. And it manifests itself in so many other ways, but basically looking for what is demotivating you as opposed to looking for the motivation can help you to not sabotage yourself anymore. So there's that. Let me know if this is going over your head and if I should do a better job at explaining. Let me know in the chats. Let me know in the chats. Audaciously me, she said, I love outgrowing people. Bye. I love that. I feel like it's easier said than done. Sometimes I don't like outgrowing people. Sometimes I be wanting to pull people with me if I'm being completely honest. Sometimes I'm like, come on, let's go. This is where the money resides, where the money resides, where the money resides. Come with me. But you can't pull people where they're not trying to go. What's that saying? You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. I'm not trying to drag around a horse. I don't even like animals like that, to be honest. I'm so sorry. I like dogs. That's about it. That's kind of where it ends for me. Just dogs. Sometimes cats, depending on the size of them, depending on their eye color too, because some cats got really scary eyes, and I'm not about that business, Traumatized from young. I'm still doing the inner child work, y'all. I can't with all animals right now. But ooh, that's a takeaway. Thank you so much for all of these gems. Listen, the truth, you are welcome. No problem at all. I'm here for this. Yeah, I want to take people with me, but I know that self-preservation comes first. I'm not taking on any of their karma or low energy that they may be carrying. Honey, that's some true tea right there, because carrying people's energy, like physically carrying people, is so much more different than emotionally carrying them, spiritually carrying them. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing on this because of certain people who may watch me or whatnot, but like, when you are in very close proximity to someone who's extremely insecure and you're working daily on uplifting them and empowering them on a daily basis, you're starting to carry their insecurities and um, their self-worth that you can't, that's not your responsibility, right? So constantly having to reassure someone or walking on eggshells around them, on your tippy toes around them so that you don't bruise their ego. These kind of things are so dangerous because you wake up one day and you're like, who am I? And why am I catering to this person's insecurities when that's not even my business. That's not even my responsibility. Like, so anyways, I feel you when you say that, girl. That just took me there. Okay. So we spoke about um, self-sabotaging because you don't feel like you deserve it. Self-sabotaging because it's unfamiliar territories and it's scary. So you sabotage to go back to your comfort zone. We spoke about identifying what is demotivating you instead of trying to find what is motivating you. Um, and then another one is survivor's guilt. But you know what? I'm going to say that for no, we're going to talk about it now. Survivor's guilt. And this is a concept that's actually new to me. I didn't really know what that meant until recently, maybe I want to say a couple months ago. I didn't know what survivor's guilt meant. And I feel like ever since I learned what the term meant, it keeps popping up and I keep hearing about it more and more. And I'm like, is this a new term? Is this something new? Or has survivor guilt always been the term? I don't know. But if you don't know what it is, I'm going to share what I've learned it to be. So, survivor's guilt essentially is when you feel bad for making it out of a situation that people you care about have not made it out of. And so you self sabotage to go back to be in that circumstance with the people that you care about. Kind of similar to you look around and it's unfamiliar territory, so you go back. But this is more so about the people that you want to go back to. Whereas I feel like when you look around, it's unfamiliar territory, so you go back. That's more so of imposter syndrome, right? That's more so of like, oh, do I belong here? I don't know if I belong in this room. Do I have the credentials? And that has to do with also um, you don't feel like you deserve it, right? But survivor's guilt is more so about specifically about the people that you've left behind who will no longer understand you where you're at, but more so you feel bad that you've left them. For example, moving out of maybe your parents' home and they still live in the projects, but you're like trying really hard to make a life for yourself in the city and build a brand for yourself or go to your 9 to 5 corporate job or go to school or whatever the situation is. Maybe you're the first in your family to attend post-secondary education and your older siblings didn't have that because maybe they were watching you when you were growing up, or your parents didn't have that because they immigrated, or maybe the times that they grew up in, they just didn't have the means to go to school. So you just feel bad that people you care about and people that you love are not in the position that you are in. And so instead of you continuing to grow and excel so that you can motivate them to get there, instead you sabotage so that you can be in the grind with them. So that was very profound to me because I shared this with, my circle of friends and we were talking about it. And it's so interesting how so many of us were like, I resonate with this. Yeah, I resonate with not wanting to or feeling bad about excelling because people that you care about haven't excelled yet. Let me read this right quick, making sure that I'm not Multicultura. Ooh, that's a nice username. I like that. Girl, that survivor's guilt. I feel you. I feel you. Brittany said, nope, I'm out, but I do give them the resources. I'm dead. I moved into a better home than the people around me. That's a tough one. Yes. You describing me, you definitely can feel the energy. Me all the time, I feel this. Girl, it's a thing. And you have to keep excelling, but like it doesn't stop you from feeling bad because you're like, well, damn, why me? Why am I the one who's at the situation? It happens when, like, even if you get into a relationship and all of your friends are single or struggling in this dating world, and you're like, oh, that sucks for you. I hate that for you and I'm sorry. But then you'd be feeling bad, like, well, damn, how come I'm the only one in a relationship? Like, do I sabotage this so I could be single with everybody? Or like I can't physically find you a man or a girl. So it really does manifest in so many facets of life. And I just love the way that business, self-improvement, relationships, and like even 9 to 5 work, they all relate to one another in such a way that I'm obsessed with. Self improvement is so my thing. Like, I love it. I'm obsessed. Some people would say it's an obsession, an addiction, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm definitely obsessed with self improvement. I love it. I love like human interactions and just understanding why we do things as humans and how it relates to so many other facets of our life. But, anyways, this survivor's guilt manifests in so many areas of our life. We'll use a 9 to 5 setting. You get a promotion, and all your coworkers that you used to complain about the job with are not promoted. Now you feel bad. Now you're low key like, I don't even like this job that much. I don't even like this role. I'm going to be showing up late. I'm not going to put my all into it because you just feel bad because all your other coworkers that you love haven't been, they haven't been promoted. And you used to complain about the job with them. You used to complain about the managers with them. You used to complain about the directors with them. And now you are a manager. Now you are a director and you just be feeling bad. Um, Yes, sports. Yes, Isabella, you're right. That's another one. The same principles that apply in business, relationships, work settings, inner work can be applied to sports as well, especially that team aspect, right? So brilliant. Yes, that's another aspect that it works on. And yes, Naraya, this is going to be saved, honey. This is going to be up on a channel. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Don't forget to hit that like, guys, by the way. Oh my God. I love dropping these little. Don't forget to subscribe and like because I'm a YouTuber now. I'm a full time YouTuber now, period. And full time YouTubers, we say, don't forget to drop that like. I mean, hit the thumbs up button, drop a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this with a friend who might find this video helpful and useful. Amen. All right. And then the last thing that I'm going, or the last tip, we're still going to talk, but the last thing that I would say is a way that you are able to, that you may be sabotaging yourself or your own success without realizing it, is that the chase is funner than the results. Okay. And I be noticing this mainly with my guy friends, but with my guy friends in their relationships, right? But like I said, a lot of things that have to do with relationships also can be related back to business and personal relationships and all of that stuff. But I know so many of my homeboys who will chase a girl for years. They chase that girl for years. They do not let her breathe. They do not let her sniff air without them popping up. They really be chasing these girls. And as soon as they get her, yeah, they kind of just, yeah. and go do off their own thing. Next thing you know, relationship's done. Next thing you know, they're on to the next and they're chasing another girl. Like, this happens so much. And it's not just guys with girls, okay? I know every single one of you guys know at least one of your homeboys or at least one guy who will chase a girl down to the ground, be in her DMs every second, talk about her all the time, nonstop. And as soon as they get her, it's like, oh, that was fun. On to the next. We do that sometimes in business as well. Very ambitious people sometimes do this where it's like on to the next goal. Like you don't even give yourself time to enjoy what you have built and what you were working so hard for. The moment you get it, you're like, okay, well, that was fun. So you kind of just knock it all down and start again, start from scratch again, right? It's like building a puzzle where like the process is better or funner than the final product. So that's a way to sabotage yourself because once you feel like you're getting to that goal or you're getting to the destination, you're about to receive everything that you've been working so hard on, you're like, let me build it again. Let me just start from scratch because once again, that comfort zone, you are more comfortable chasing, and the chase is just funner than the actual result itself. I've turned down so many dates because of this. They love the aesthetics from IG, but don't give a damn about me and what I desire in life or what I'm afraid of. Ooh, I'm so good on that. Next. Yes, it's the thrill of a chase. For a man. But also for women when it comes to our goals. Also for kids when it comes to, like maybe making the sports team and like, oh, I'm gonna try out for cheer. And then you make the cheer team and then it's like, cheer's not that fun. I want to try something else. Like we all do it. Or I shouldn't say all of us do it, but many of us do it. Men, women, children, elderly. Um I've done that a lot and didn't even realize it. Yes, yes, yes. This is what we're talking about today. How you can be sabotaging yourself without even realizing it sometimes. It's a madness. I was writing, oh, oh, yes, I was writing down my goals and how I will get there. And then I was like, then what? Then what? What do you do when you reach your goals and your identity is in the chase? Your identity is being an ambitious dream chaser. Then what happens when you caught the dream? You're not chasing it anymore. Or you're, chasing the bag. And you got the bag, then what? Then what do you do? It's a thing. It's a thing. Sabotaging your own success. So, three things that I would say you can do is I wrote them down actually, but I wasn't about to just come on here and say like, how are you sabotaging your own success and not give you some actionable, tangible steps and things that you can do to try to combat this when you do feel like you're sabotaging your own success. So like once you've identified it, then what, right? So let's get into it. Okay, so number one is to watch your thinking. As I said, you're going to have to identify it because no one else can identify it for you. No one else can tell you, I think you're sabotaging your own success. I think that you are being disrespectful to your future self and to all the work and progress that you've been putting into whatever you're building. Yeah, maybe people very close to you can identify it and call you out on it, but it's also not their job to. So if no one close to you calls it out, then like it's totally up to you to discover this. So no, R. David, this live is not only for women, it's for all. It's for men, women, and neither, and both. So you can definitely pick out, like, you can definitely identify when you are self sabotaging if you're watching your thinking and you're picking up on why you don't want to do certain things or why you result to doing certain things instead of working towards your goals. For example, maybe you start going to the gym, you're seeing great results, and you're feeling happier, you're feeling lighter, you're seeing results that you love, and you're happy with it. But then people close to you aren't doing that, can't really relate. So you just stop going all of a sudden. You stop. Or you're working on your business, you're doing great, you're seeing great results, it's growing, and you're connecting with people. Then people close to you are like, what are you talking about? This business sounds weird. Why are you always talking about business, anyways? Like, just kind of discouraging you. So you kind of stop working on the business because you're like, okay, it's they're probably right a little bit. It probably is a little stupid, or maybe they don't even say that, but there could be a fear associated with your thought process where you're just realizing on your own. Maybe they're not saying it, but you're just realizing it. You're like, damn, if I continue to succeed and I continue on this path, then maybe I'm going to lose everything that I know. I'm going to lose the people closest to me because they won't be able to relate. Something like that. TD Jakes calls it stinking thinking. I love that. Stinking thinking. That's me. One minute I think, oh my God, I can do whatever I put my mind to. Then the same minute, a defeatist thought pops up. It's a thing. It's a thing. I want to live a life where I can wake up in the morning, put on an outfit I love, call a friend, draw something, eat something delicious, do work, take selfies, model. Ooh, that sounds like life, honey. And you can live that life if that's what you want to do. You absolutely can. Litra, ooh, I like that. It's fear for me. Fear creeps into so many things and like prevents us. It cripples us from doing things. And the sad thing about fear is that it's not even real. Like you will create a whole scenario in your head and be scared of that scenario that hasn't even manifested yet. It's fake. The fear you feel is fake. It's not real. But you'll make real life actions, or you'll make real life moves and take real life actions based off of fake life hypothetical scenarios that have not even manifested yet. It's wild. So, number one is to watch your thinking. Number two is to find mentors and surround yourself with people who are spiritually further along than you or emotionally further along than you, who have done the inner self work. And this can kind of hurt people's egos, right? Because a lot of people only like to be in rooms where they're the smartest in the room, the most advanced in the room. They don't want anyone calling them out on their bull. They kind of feel triggered. And so, if you are one of those people, it can be a difficult process for you to find somebody who um, is spiritually or emotionally further along their journey than you are. But I promise you, it's so necessary because you just learn so much more from people who are further along. Like, it's no fun to be the smartest in the room. That's like actually not a room you probably don't want to be the smartest in any room. At least I don't. I don't like being the smartest in the room. I love being able to learn from other people because maybe I'm more well versed on one area, but that doesn't make me the smartest in the room. It just makes me the most well versed in that particular area. But I do feel that you're able to learn so much from people, regardless of where they are in their life. And you need to humble yourself to recognize when it is time to just throw your ego out the door and listen to what someone else has to teach you, or learn from someone else's teachings without them even trying to teach you. Just learn from how they move, learn from their actions, their words. And I find that when you're around people who are more emotionally intelligent than you, or have done the inner child work for a longer period of time, they're able to check you when you have thoughts or you say things that are limiting. They're able to say, girl, you think it's small. Or why would you say that? That's a little limiting. I love when people kind of check me on, like, maybe you're being a little rude. Maybe you're being a little harsh. Or what I've what I've gotten recently someone was telling me, "You're being too nice." And I was initially like, "I'm being too nice?" Well, that's just who I am. So I was thinking, right? But then I had to understand that this person has, number one, been in business longer than I have and is older than me and has also been doing the inner work for quite some time. He's a very like self-reflective person. So I respect his opinion so much and I love talking to him about just life and business and everything in between because he is so emotionally intelligent that I learn from him. Like after our conversations could be 3, 4 hours long. And after I get off of it, I feel smarter and wiser. So it's really important, I would say, to surround yourself with people you can learn from emotionally. Um, and that doesn't mean that they're more successful than you financially, doesn't mean that they have a better relationship with their significant other than you, that they are better in life than you. It just means that emotionally you're able to learn from them. So that's something that you can do to help you along your journey as well, to um, find mentors or surround yourself with people who are emotionally further along than you are. And then, third but not last, I mean, this is how you know I'm getting tired, y'all. I get a little loopy and I turn into a little bit of a loony when I am tired because it's 9 o'clock. I should be getting ready for bed. I woke up really early. But what I meant to say is last but not least, I said third but not last. Ooh. Um, Last but not least is to do the inner child work yourself. So, beyond identifying it and beyond surrounding yourself with people who are further along emotionally than you are, you have to seek out the help yourself to do the inner child work. Journal regularly so that you can monitor your emotions and monitor your thought process, monitor why you have certain triggering emotions or self esteem issues, purpose issues, inner child issues. What are you doing now because of the traumas that you experienced as a child? That's not going to be helpful to the dream version of yourself that you want to be. Stop doing those things that you had to do when you were in survival mode. Start recognizing that you are not in survivor mode. You are a human being living and flourishing and prospering in this world. And you know, it's okay to let go of the things that you had to do when you were in survival mode. Mhm. Laziness is a part of it as well. Yes, I think so, but also no. For me, I feel like yes and no. And I think that maybe I haven't had much experience with like lazy people too much, but I do think that laziness is a result of something deeper. I don't think people are just lazy just cuz. I do think that there's normally something mentally that is behind being lazy. Like, is it a depression? Are you depressed and that's why you're lazy? Like, do you know that things need to get done, but you just can't because you feel depressed? Or is it um, like what we spoke about earlier, which was the demotivate demotivating factors? Like, do you have a lot of those that you're kind of subconsciously sabotaging yourself on? So you might not be lazy. There could be something emotionally that's behind that, emotionally triggering that. So laziness for me is a result of being mentally drained. I believe that. I do believe that. Yeah, I agree with you, Lynn. Yes, girl. The world is shutting down. It is survival mode. I don't think so. I don't think we're in survival mode. I'm not at war. We're so blessed to have the lives that we do have. And so many times, like, we focus on the things that we don't have. But when you focus on what you do have, you'll realize how little survival mode skills you need to be in right now, how little you need to be in survival mode. When you have a roof over your head, You have food in your fridge. You're able to provide for yourself to eat, have shelter. You have people who love you and care about you. You have access to the internet. Just the simple fact that you have access to the internet. You know how many people in the world right now have been banned from using the internet so freely the way that we do? The fact that you're on YouTube. Some countries have banned YouTube, have banned Twitter. They're not allowed to communicate with people outside of the country they live in. We're so, so blessed and we have so much. So there's a lot that we take for granted and we focus so much on the things that we don't have. But when you focus on what you do have, you realize like how blessed you are. And it kind of starts a chain reaction where you're like, okay, let me take a step back here. I do have a lot to be grateful for. Gratitude is a must. Yeah. Blessings fall on my life. We thank God for the journey, the earnings are just for the plus. Yeah. Gratitude is a must. Reality check for sure. Yes. Where I'm from, YouTube doesn't work. So sad. It's a thing. It is definitely a thing. Yes. Okay. So that's basically all I had to share today. It is 9:07 and a girl is about to get ready for bed, honey, because I have been working all day. And Ice is tired now. Ice is tired, and I definitely want to be asleep by 10 o'clock. So fingers crossed I can do that. But actually, I just realized I can't because I have I have something that was due today and I didn't complete it. So I'm going to do that before I go to bed. So that's it for your girl today. I do want to leave you with one small thing to think about, though. And the question that I want to leave you with today is what you're doing helping you or is it harming you? Are you sabotaging your own success? And what are you going to do about it? And lastly, what is greater, the risk or the reward? So that is all these hearts. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you guys so much. Shout out to Ali. Ollie. Ollie, I think. Ollie? um, and good night, guys. I love you guys so much. Love you to the moon and back. Be true to you. Mwah! Bye, y'all.